Am I the asshole for taking back my nephew's Christmas present and giving it to my son? My sister and I have always had a strained relationship. I usually just let things go and try to keep the peace. We both have sons who are around the same age. My nephew is 13 and my son just turned 11. For my son's birthday I bought him the new gaming system he has been wanting. He was absolutely thrilled and he plays non-stop. My sister is bad with money. I usually have to lend her money for bills and stuff for my nephew. I know my nephew doesn't always get the best Christmas gifts, so this year I went a little crazy and I purchased the same gaming system for him for Christmas. I already had it ready and wrapped under my tree. Yesterday my sister's family came to visit. My son asked me if they could go play video games. I said yes and reminded them to be careful. About 30 minutes later my son comes running to me crying. I asked him what was wrong and he led me to the front hall. When we get to the stairs I see the new system smashed on the floor. Someone had thrown it from the upstairs and it was now smashed to pieces. I asked my son what happened and he sobbed and pointed at his cousin. I asked my nephew if he did this and he started to laugh. He said that it was a stupid baby toy, and that he saw people break them online. My sister came in and I told her what happened. I explained that this was an expensive system and that her son needs to be disciplined for what he did. I told her I wanted her to pay for what her son broke. She laughed and said no. She says I shouldn't have let them play unsupervised. That it was my fault and that I am a bad parent. She said my son will get over it and that it was not important. Seeing my son sitting on the ground next to his broken system trying to put the pieces back together tore my heart out. I walked over to the Christmas tree and grabbed the system that was meant for my nephew. I pulled the gift wrap off and gave it to son and told him to go upstairs and set it up. My sister asked me why I was making such a big deal when I had another one already. I then laughed and told her that was her son's Christmas gift. That since it wasn't important and it was just a stupid baby toy then they obviously won't miss it. I then told them to leave. My nephew realized what happened and began to cry that my son had stole his system. I said no, his was the one that he smashed. My sister was livid and told me that I will never see them again. I just said okay and slammed the door. Other family members have now been calling me non-stop and saying I am an asshole and that I ruined my nephew's Christmas. I don't think so though. My nephew is 13. He is not a stupid kid and he knew what he was doing. I don't care that it was over jealousy, he is old enough to know better. My sister was not going to make the situation right, so I just did what I had to do. They all think I should buy another new system for him, but I don't have that kind of money. I'm starting to feel bad about this and I am wondering, am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. Your sister's terrible parenting ruined her kid's Christmas. Your nephew's jealousy ruined his own Christmas. It's entirely possible that your sister has spun a lie to the extended family, so be sure the flying monkeys have the full story in your responses to them. What part of my nephew deliberately smashing my son's console, telling us he'd seen it done online and insulting the gaming system is acceptable in your eyes? How is my sister refusing to take responsibility for the damage or for disciplining her son acceptable in your eyes? I bought 2 consoles, my nephew deliberately smashed one, I won't be buying a third. If you think that sort of behavior deserves to be rewarded, feel free to buy a console for nephew yourself.
Not the asshole. Your sister just disrespected you and your child and doesn't care enough to discipline hers. Her son will grow up to be an entitled jerk. You did nothing wrong, just taught them a lesson, that I hope they learn, probably won't, though.
Not the asshole. Do not buy this kid anything, he is 13 years old and knows right from wrong. And if he doesn't, this is his first lesson, actions have consequences.
Not the asshole. Your nephew needs to learn that he can't just destroy whatever he wants and pretend like everything is fine. Don't get him a new console. He can get a nice pair of socks for Christmas. Your sister needs to take a parenting class. How could she laugh that her son threw your son's console down the stairs? I can absolutely see where your nephew gets his disregard for other people's feelings from. I bet you son is happy and TBH, that's all that matters here.
Not the asshole. If I had smashed anyone else's system at 13 or younger, I would have been held responsible for and punished for my actions. Your sister sounds as selfish as the child she is bearing. She gaslighted you to make you feel bad about her uncontrollable son. As her son walked out of your house crying, you should have said, "Who's the baby now?"
Not the asshole. What amazing parenting and a great lesson learned by your jealous nephew. Especially the part about it being a baby toy and unimportant, that was delicious.
Not the asshole. Your nephew and your sister are a horror story. He doesn't deserve the smashed system, much less a working one. And what happens when he comes over and again smashes your son's system? I'd go no contact on your sister and nephew and anyone who would back their behavior. That was just awful. I would not keep people like that in my life.
Not the asshole. Clearly. I've read a few of these where kids of a certain age who should know better smash and damage something and the parents act like it's akin to rolling their eyes. Who lets their kids destroy things? Of course you're not the asshole. What 13-year-old needs to be supervised to keep them from destroying something? You're better off without their presence.
Not the asshole. I dunno that I'd have made a show of giving your son the new game console while they were still there and from under the Christmas tree. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, but the nephew breaking your son's console just for the sake of being an asshole and your sister's reaction were wholly unacceptable. I personally wouldn't let them come back over to your house.
Not the asshole. Your nephew is 13, about time he learned that actions have consequences.
Good for you. This was a good lesson for your nephew, that actions have consequences. He is not owed a gaming system and in fact he had to replace the one he broke. That's how the world works. NT.
This can't be real. Not the asshole. You're better off without them too. Your nephew and sister sound unbearable and entitled AF. If you must get him a gift package up the shattered pieces and a pair of socks.
Not the asshole. He was learning a valuable life lesson and I'd say it may be better to completely cut contact off, as your sister clearly does not respect you nor your property.
Not the asshole. Your nephew is going to have to learn, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Or, better yet, play stupid games, lose really good shit.
Not the asshole. This was an appropriate consequence. You'd have gutted your son's soul if he had to watch his cousin being given a new system after smashing his.
You are the asshole, for making up fake stories for karma. Jesus, this is beyond unbelievable.
You are the asshole, I say while throwing my head back in laughter. Why? You asked laughing. Well let me tell you, haha, for using this sub as either a place to practice your fiction writing skills or for karma since there's no way you would ever be deemed the asshole for what you did.
Next time, try to make it believable.
Just put the smash system in a box and give them that.
Not the asshole. I'm sure that the relatives that are giving you a hard time don't know the whole story. Copy and paste your post and send in a PM to anyone she brought into the drama. Your nephew's lost game system was a direct, reasonable and appropriate consequence of intentionally breaking your son's.
Not the asshole. Game console number 2 never belonged to your nephew. You did not hand it to him and Christmas is on December 25th. Today is November 15th. The gift transaction was never completed so you could do what you wanted. Please don't help these people financially ever again.
Very obviously made up. 3/10.
This one beggars belief.
Not the asshole. Well done. You are a wonderful mum.
Not the asshole. Your sister is an asshole that clearly doesn't know how to parent a child. A 13-year-old knows not to break things. Props to you for being a great parent.
Not the asshole. Your sister should be grateful that you did not ask money for it. Not the asshole. Do not let them manipulate you into anything. They will gaslight you till you break down but don't do it. Also, quit paying their bills, they're obviously well off enough to have an entitled opinion.
You have your Christmas tree already up, and you did the shopping already.
Everyone in this story but Op and her son are cartoonishly evil. No one acts like this, even actual nasty people have a little bit more tact. Also, why do all of these fake stories have maniacal laughing and everyone and their mother calling Op to berate them? LMAO.
Not the asshole. You stood up for your son and showed your nephew that actions have consequences.
This has gotta be fake. Who sets up a Christmas tree before Thanksgiving? You're about 2 weeks too early on this one, Op.
Not the asshole. Instant karma. Unfortunately, your nephew learned a very hard lesson. I know you said you don't have the money to buy another system for him, but is there any way you could work it out with your nephew to let him work off the debt? Apologizing to your son would be task 1, then you could say X number of hours volunteering and helping others would earn him a used system next Christmas. He is at a fork, you can steer him down a good path or you can let him continue down the path he is on.
Info: Why do you have a Christmas tree set up in the middle of November? You, Sunny Day 6884 PLS respond: because this smells funny.
I was all set to say YTA based on the title, but reading the whole story, absolutely not the asshole. Your sister and nephew on the other hand, assholes. What your nephew did was vindictive and your sister is the bad parent. If other family members think nephew should still get the gaming system, they can buy it for him. And your sister is ridiculous blaming you for not supervising 11 and 13-year-olds are fully capable of playing games unsupervised. Hell, I was babysitting at 12.
Probably one of the faker posts I've seen on here in a while.
This is fake. I mean, it's not even close to Christmas yet.
Info: Why is your Christmas stuff out this early? Not the asshole. Good for you. The kid knew what he did was wrong, as did his mother. You did the right thing. They expected you to replace it for your kid and you did. It's great you managed to do it at their expense.
Info: Your Christmas tree is up already?
You are the asshole. This story is complete bullshit. Not the asshole at all. Great job, Dad.
Not the asshole. Please don't give in to this, it won't help your nephew at all. God, this sub has really gone downhill since they removed the rule banning obvious not the asshole the posts. If this is real, which I doubt since who already has their Christmas tree up with presents wrapped under it, you know you're not the asshole.
These kinds of people can't be real. How could this happen and the sister thinks she's the good parent?
If I smashed an expensive video game system at that age, I would have gotten an ass whooping that would send me to the hospital. I wouldn't have gotten any presents whatsoever. Not the asshole. And honestly, if this is an indication of how your sister raises her kid, I can see why he behaved this way. He's in for a rude awakening when he hits adulthood. Your sister 100% owes you the money, and if she isn't going to discipline her kid, knowing he could have gotten the same present if he had kept his cool seems like the best kind of lesson. Edit: and how unbelievably entitled of your family to tell you you should replace something your sister's kid broke. That is actually mind-blowingly moronic. Please put these idiots in their place, or maybe just don't talk to them either.
This one stretches being believable a bit too much. It follows the formula of obviously not the asshole, clear vengeance, and everybody on Facebook saying something that would never happen. Come on, make up better stories. This sub should require proof, like a name removed Facebook post at the absolute minimum. Post a pic of the smashed system or something. At least then you'll have to invest in the lies.
Who celebrates Christmas in mid-November?
Wait, it's Christmas?